Title of this is, Am I the Astronaut for Refusing to Pull Money from My Husband's Account to Give to My Family? Hi, Dusty, longtime viewer, and I feel like you have the best advice. There's not many people to whom I can vent that it won't circle back to my family, so I'm taking a shot here with my husband, 25, or with my 25 female husband, 24 male, just went to basic for the National Guard in the Army. I'm very proud and supportive of him, as is my family. I have a rather small family, just me, my mother, and my sister, 27 female, her two kids, and her husband. We are usually a tight-knit family, but there is currently some tension. My husband is in basic for about 10 weeks, then heads straight to advanced training for 15 weeks, so he will not be returning home until the end of July. Wow, that's a long time. That being said, he has left and entrusted me with all of his finances, bills, etc. I keep track of his bank account as far as watching for when the Army pays him and making sure his student loans, car payments, and all that good stuff is being paid on time. On to the problem. My sister is a dental assistant and is currently in school for her bachelor's degree. Her husband recently lost his job, and my sister has been trying to keep up on bills with her low salary. Her husband has recently found new work, but they're still struggling. Before my husband left, we gave her some cash to stay afloat until her husband's checks would come in. Recently, my sister has asked for more money. Normally, I help my family out, as having small children is a lot, and my mother is a widow and lives alone but still works. Makes more than me as a nurse, but still, living alone is costly. I also work as a pharmacy tech. Here is where I might be the astronaut. When my sister asked me for more money, I refused, as I only had $10 to my name. She got a little frustrated, venting to me about how they needed gas and some groceries. I was sympathetic, but again, I told her, sorry, I got nothing. Later that day, she texted me again, asking if I could pull from my husband's account to give her $40, swearing she'd pay it back. I would like to point out they never pay me back, my sister or mom, but usually it doesn't bother me as they never ask for more than $50. I told her no, I was not touching my husband's account, and that my job as the wife was simply to keep an eye on it so he gets paid and his bills get taken care of. She went on to say all kinds of things, including how we don't have kids, so we can't be that broke, and that the Army gives us free money that is more than what we need. What? I don't know if you know anything about the Army, but they don't pay great. It's not like if people got rich being in the Army, there'd be a lot more people in the Army, put it that way. That money is for housing and other bills we may have, which is what I plan to use it for. I explained this to her, along with the fact that the Army hasn't sent him a check yet and is still behind 3 or 4 checks from his PT before he went to basic. She kept asking, but this time I put my foot down. I can be an absolute doormat sometimes and give in, but this is my husband's account. And while it is our money, it doesn't feel right to just take it when he has no idea and no contact with me. My mom even agreed with my sister, saying it is hard with a single income home, and said that me and my husband are lucky to have extra cash, and it is our responsibility to look after the family in time of need. Am I the astronaut? There are so many red flags in this that just paint a clear misunderstanding or a tilted worldview, or lots of problems here. Now, there may be a cultural element to this, because in some cultures, there is very much a take care of the entire family kind of mentality. So I can't speak to being a member of a different culture. In my life experience, if somebody tried to pull this shit on me, it'd be a hell no. And you know, they have separate finances, but she understands that you know, she has a right to that money as well, because it's her partner's money. But she also, they've created parameters for it where they're a few checks behind themselves. So they're just, you know, they're barely getting by right now too. But what they do have is strictly dedicated for bills. And it's one of those things where this would require 2 yeses, right? And she can't get a yes from her husband right now. So it's a no. It would require 2 yeses. She told them no. They aren't graciously taking that no, like we find so many people doing in these kind of stories. Instead of graciously accepting the no, they keep pushing. Like that's going to help something. Maybe I could argue this no into a yes. When somebody created boundaries, that's really just a challenge. That just means I need to try to close harder, right? I need to try to seal this deal. I can just argue my way into turning that thing into a yes. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure it works for some people, but it doesn't help the relationship at all. All you're doing is just solidifying the no here. And I think you did the right thing. I think the fact that you say, OP, that you could be a doormat, but in this case, you created that boundary, you stood firm on it. They're going to keep trying. So just don't waver and make sure that they understand that this would have to be a 2 yes situation, and you can't get a yes from him right now. So it's a no. You can make the request, but it may be a while before you hear back. But without 2 yeses, it's a no. You can make it as simple as that. And yeah, you're clearly getting used. So be aware.